think I'm done.
Continued.
The gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Ms. Pressley, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank you, Chairman Powell, for appearing before the committee today. The Federal Reserve can do more to support the needs of hardworking American families. As it stands, working families wait days at a time just to have their checks clear. And when you are living paycheck to paycheck and rent is due the first of the month, there can be no room for error. As a central bank in America, the Federal Reserve has a responsibility to speed up the process of clearing payments. I want to bring up a report that was issued 2 years ago, the Faster Payments Task Force. In that report, the task force called for a payment system in the United States that is faster, ubiquitous, broadly inclusive, safe, highly secure, and efficient by 2020. Mr. Chairman, 2020 is less than 6 months away. Yes or no, will we have a faster payment system by then?
No, we're working on it, but we're not going to be done by 2020, I would say. But we're getting there.
The task force also concluded that broad access to settlement services will help level the playing field and enhance competition among providers of faster payment services. Yes or no, do you agree that this is an issue of accessibility and equality?
I do agree with that. That's one of our principal motivating factors.
And so would the Fed like to see a world where all Americans have access to faster, secure payments?
Yes, we would. That's why we've been working on, you mentioned that report. This is a project that's been going on for 5 years. And
right.
Goes on.
If you can instantly clear payments between the accounts of commercial banks held within the Fed, why not consumers writ large? What's the delay?
Well, it's not a, it's a service that hasn't existed. It's existed for banks. Immediately available funds has existed for banks. We really, we don't have plenary authority over the payment system as some other central banks do, but we convened a group of people and institutions maybe 5, 6 years ago, and we said, let's work toward this. And so that's the report you saw was I think the last report that we issued, and we're now working to implement some of the recommendations.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just trying to better understand the delay in the implementations of this report. Have you received any pushback from any businesses, particularly the credit card industry?
You know, I think we're determined to do what we see the right thing as. We're not looking.
Have you received any pushback specifically from the credit card industry?
I have not personally. No, I think that
so a faster
businesses to advocate for their own well-being, though.
Sure. Do you agree that our country's continued lack of a real-time payment system is being exploited by credit card companies like MasterCard and Visa, and also outside of that industry by Facebook to create a digital currency?
I wouldn't want to use those terms, no. I think people operate in the environment that they have. We're trying to create an environment that does have faster payments broadly available, and we think that's a better environment for the reasons you articulated.
Yeah, I mean, I really do see a faster payment system simply as a public good. And the lack of action here creates a real void in the lives of consumers everywhere, and these voids are increasingly being exploited by companies looking to operate as financial institutions without the guardrails. Facebook's Libra is being trotted as a solution to the unbanked. However, I struggle to see how ceding the functions of a central bank to a private company solves an issue of resources. Instead, we should be using pre-existing infrastructure to ensure that all people have the ability to safely and securely and with no cost access and move their money 24/7, 365 days a year. So again, let's not lose sight of the plot. Mr. Chairman, and the plot is the American people. And I hope to see your organization become more reflective of the lived experiences and the everyday needs of Americans. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thanks.